Paltrocast.
Natalie, how is your day going aside from doing media and answering the same questions over and over and over again?
It's going great. It's very hot. So, I'm enjoying my day. Thank you very much. And luckily I've been answering like questions, but they weren't like exactly the same. So I've been actually having to think and just, it's a nice way to take it back to the film that we shot a year ago to remember all kinds of stuff and to reminisce. So I'm having fun. Thank you.
Well, not only one of the stars of the film, also producer on the film. And you have a very impressive resume as both an actress and a producer, yet those are only two of your job titles. I know about your background in dance and choreography. Yeah. You were billed as a composer in a short film you did, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when was it that you decided that you wanted to work in entertainment? Was there a particular moment?
I think I was born into entertainment, basically. My dad was a singer, and he played every single instrument. So he always played and sang. My mother was a dancer who wanted to become an actress, but was very shy. So when I first watched my first movie, I remember back in Ukraine, because that's where I'm from. Mm-hmm. And I saw this, actually, it was funny enough, I saw Gone with the Wind. And I just like, for some reason, like I fell in love with the art, and I was like, oh my God, I want to do that. I want to play Vivian Leigh. And I just got super inspired. And I've always told my mother I want to be an actress. And she said, well, but you can't, you're from Ukraine, you don't speak English. How are we going to do this? And I was like, well, I want to go to Hollywood. I want to be an American, And she's like, but you're not, you weren't born into that. So I was like, well, I still want to. So after, pursuing my career as a dancer, as a ballerina, I went to all kinds of different schools and companies and transitioned a lot, moved a lot, and eventually got lucky enough to move to London, got into the Royal Ballet School where I did study English. And finally, I learned English. So then it was basically a matter of time for me to start transitioning and moving to Hollywood one day. And I guess when I got injured, for better or worse, I was like, this is my time. This is my moment to see if I'm, if I'm meant to be, in Hollywood, if I'm meant to be here, to be doing what I really wanted to do. And I guess here I am still doing it.
Well, you mentioned languages, and if the bio is correct, you speak 4 of them. Was English language number 2 or number 3 for you?
So I speak Russian, Ukrainian. English was, I guess, because Ukrainian and Russian is a little different. I guess it would be number 3. I also speak fluent French, and I speak a bit of Italian and Spanish, so it's more.
So yeah, 4 fluently, but then 5 or 6. Okay, wow. Yeah. The list of talents just keeps growing and growing and growing. But one thing I don't see on your resume, unless this is incorrect, do you direct or do you have plans to direct in the future?
I haven't directed yet, but I do have plans to direct. Yes, I'm looking forward to doing that because I enjoy working with actors, and I'm a member of the Actors Studio. I love theater, I love stage, and I love collaborating with talented actors. And I feel like I have so much to say, and having the ability to tell stories through camera for the audience to see all around the world. I feel like we can send any kind of message and people get inspired. So I definitely have a lot of things that I want to tell in the future through those lenses.
Sure. Well, the new film is Till Death Do Us Part, which you mentioned, again, not only acted in, also produced. Was it an easy film to make?
I think none of the films you make are easy. You always kind of, struggle with certain things. There are always challenges, but I think that's what's the fun part about, for instance, producing. Producer's job is to basically fix problems. It's, there's a problem, you got to fix it. You don't have something, you got to get it. There's no denial that if somebody comes in and says, sorry, we can't get it, you just give up. No, the producer has to find a way to figure it out. True. And I basically just sit there and said, oh great, this is going so smooth, everything's wonderful. we had a lot of things that were going wrong, which is absolutely natural on an indie production, especially. And we're totally indie, we're non-AMPTP, we're not associated with any studios, no distributors of AMPTP. So we did what we could, and that's why we want support of those indie filmmakers, and we want the support of the audience and fans so far to go and watch our film out in theaters August 4th. So challenges, always. An actor, producer, whenever you're making a movie, there are always challenges.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a very good point, that there's always going to be challenges in the arts. But in terms of this film, did it go the correct number of days for the shoot, or were there tons of reshoots, or was it, we knew it was going to be 18 days, it was 18 days and that was it?
We thought we were going to shoot it actually in 16 days. We ended up doing it in 18, but not because
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I made up that number 18. I
know.
It was 18.
You didn't read that anyway. Yeah, we did shoot for 18 days. So it was, we were supposed to shoot in 16. So we did go over a little bit, but we always knew that we would probably do a couple of days of pickup B-roll, just so that we can get, enough footage for like the location, like the yacht shots that we have. And we have Puerto Rico in the movie, which we did not go to Puerto Rico. We actually shot everything in Los Angeles. We got some stuff from Puerto Rico, like through B-roll, because we did go, I went to Puerto Rico prior twice, and I fell in love with it, and I was like, oh my God, we need to make a movie there. So we used a little bit of it, but mostly everything was shot in LA. And so we were lucky enough, because I'm a producer, I guess, and because Timothy Woodward Jr. is also the director and the producer, it was between us. Either we were going to mess it up or not. So we're both looking at each other. We're like, well, we can't mess it up. If it was somebody else's, like, production stuff, and we're like, oh, sorry, we can't fix it, but we're reliable people. We make movies. We know what it takes to make a movie and why you need to make a movie on time. And you want people to walk around and say, you know what, it's good to work with them, because they say what they do and they do what they say. So in the end, exactly what we said, we did it. Whether it was difficult or not, it was done. So
right. Well, this is a new movie to us because it's not even out yet. It's an old movie to you. Is the next movie from you coming out The Last Redemption?
Yes, it is. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Yes, it should be out by the end of this year. It was a movie that I shot in the period of, I guess it was almost a year and a half. I had to go back and forth to Italy, to Sicily, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that movie coming out, because that movie is medieval, which I absolutely love. I love Westerns. I love medieval. I love any genre, kind of, not genre, sorry, period pieces. So to me, it adds so much more to, exploring the character. You're even more, immersed into in this life that naturally you would not be living in. And it was a wonderful experience. And again, like, I had to do a lot of different action stuff and stunts and horseback riding, and just another way of challenging. And I love that. Like, and whenever I get to challenge myself, like whether it's physically or emotionally, I'm 100% in, because I feel like I'm exploring myself, like, in a different level, and I'm seeing how far I can go as Natalie Byrne, and how far, my personality can take me, and how far everything else that I am emotionally, like, how far I can go and what I can do.
So my last question, tying it all together, you mentioned Los Angeles, Puerto Rico, England, Ukraine. You've been all over for work, for studies, for pleasure. Is there anywhere you haven't yet filmed that you're still hoping to work in?
I have never been or filmed in Japan, and I'm kind of looking forward to one day going to Japan, because I think it's just a completely different part of the world that to me is just magical, but also very different. And I'd love to explore that side. Like, I love cultures. I love getting to know people. I love understanding where they come from and why they're the way they are. And I've gotten to know a lot of Japanese people, because actually in my school, at the Royal Ballet School, I shared in boarding school, because I grew up in boarding school. So I shared a room with a Japanese girl, and I never understood why she had to cook fish at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm hoping, when I go to Japan, right. And, and she would cook it, but then she would leave it. And then she would wake up like already at 7 and eat it. And it was like every morning. So the smell of fish, I was like, oh, this is wonderful. Great. So I'm looking forward to exploring their characters and their personality, you know. So going to Japan and Australia would be another one.
Wow. Well, there's still goals. That's great to hear, but congratulations on Till Death Do Us Part. Looking forward to whatever's to come from you in the near future, including The Last Redemption. And thank you for your time, Natalie.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Paltrocast.